The city felt smaller around Barcelona today, as if the absence of a roar had hollowed streets and slowed the heartbeat of an entire club. For more than a season, the team has played in borrowed venues, and every schedule, ticket allocation and television plan has been measured against a single stubborn question. When does home stop being a memory and start being a reality again? Now the narrative has a new hinge. The club has secured the final construction certificate for Phase 1A of the Spotify Camp Nou redevelopment, a formal stamp that shifts a project from plan to possibility. And tomorrow a city council inspection will decide whether that possibility becomes a match-day reality against Valencia on September 14. The stakes are vivid. If the council signs off, the reopening would come in phases, a first trickle of roughly 27,000 supporters into the stands, and the sight of those familiar colours and flags returning to their terraces would be as loud in the city's soul as it is on the fixture list. But this is not only nostalgia. The decision threads directly into legal and commercial machinery. Our broadcast schedules, UEFA licensing, ticketing logistics, and vital matchday revenue all hinge on whether certain sectors can be declared safe. That makes the inspection less a ceremonial visit and more the fulcrum of plans that were drawn up months ago and now depend on a technical report. Behind the headlines, the club's staff have moved through a different tempo. Engineers measuring exits, stewards rehearsing flows, grounds crews coaxing a pitch into match readiness, and finance teams calculating the margins that reopenings will unlock. Across the city, fans trade scenarios. Who will be allowed in first, how season ticket allocations will be handled, whether long-sold tickets will be honoured, and the emotional arithmetic is simple and savage. Returning to Camp Nou means a restoration of ritual, a reclaiming of identity that changes how players warm up, how crowds breathe, and how a season is perceived. Contingency plans underscore how fragile the timeline remains. Montjuic is not an option that weekend because of a major concert, and alternative venues like the Johan Cruyff Stadium or Girona Montilivi are logistically imperfect and emotionally distant, the kind of compromises that underscore how essential even a partial Camp Nou reopening would be. There is also a bureaucratic face to this moment. UEFA has its own rules about televised fixtures and stadium requirements, so a partial domestic reopening might not automatically solve continental scheduling headaches. In other words, even a favourable verdict tomorrow could leave some complications to be ironed out, yet it would also send a powerful signal that the club can move forward on its broader financial and sporting recovery. For the players and staff, the mood is relief shaded by realism. For the fans, it is impatience tinged with hope. The thought of stepping under a familiar roof again, even if only into the South End or the main stand at first, has already changed rehearsals, travel plans and sleep patterns. And for the city, whose merchants and neighbours live by matchday rhythms, the implications are economic and cultural. Matchday crowds are a ripple that touches small cafes and big sponsors alike. Whatever tomorrow's inspectors write, the certificate now in the club's hands is not an endpoint but a threshold, progress with caveats, a promise that can be fulfilled or delayed. If the council grants approval, expect pragmatic celebrations, staggered access, phased ticketing and tight safety briefings. If not, Barcelona will continue in exile with stubborn plans to return later. The disappointment will be immediate, but the long-term objective remains unchanged. In the next 24 hours, then, the story will be decided by technical reports and signatures, but the reverberations will be felt across pitches and plazas. A verdict that will determine not just where one match is played, but how a club heals, how a season breathes, soars and breathes, and how a city reclaims one of its great cathedrals of sound.